Dear students, നമ്മുടെ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് കോഡ് TD റിവിഷൻ 15 3022 ഫ്ലൂയിഡ് മെക്കാനിക്സ് ആൻഡ് ന്യൂമാറ്റിക്സ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. So, what is fluid mechanics? Fluid mechanics is the branch of physics concerned with the mechanics of fluids. The fluids like liquid, gases and plasma and the forces acting on the fluids become the static condition is changed to the dynamic condition. That is simply, it is the study of fluids. This can be divided into two groups. One is fluid statics and fluid dynamics. When the fluid statics stands for the study of fluid of at rest, that the fluid is not in motion. In this case, the forces acting on the fluid is in equilibrium. That is, the sum of the forces is equal to the resultant. And the second case, the fluid dynamics. That is the study of effects of fluids on fluid motion. That is, when the fluid is in motion, there are so many forces acting on it. Because of the first theory, that is a static fluid, that for the fluid at the state of rest, it starts to flow only when a shear stress acting on the fluid. When the shear stress exceeds to split off its layer, the motion starts. Just like the motion causes due to the effect of forces. The study of forces and the flow of within the fluids termed as the fluid mechanics and pneumatics. Once again, simply, fluid mechanics is the branch of physics concerned with the mechanics of fluids. The fluids means liquid, gases and plasma. Then what is the definition of a fluid? We can look at the definition. That is, a fluid is a substance that flows under the action of shearing force. If a fluid at rest, we know that the forces are in equilibrium. You know what is shearing force? That's when we pushes a chalk with two hands, it cut into two sections. In this case, there are two and equal opposite forces acting tangentially to the face of the chalk. Similarly, the tangential force acting on the layers of fluid make the fluid to flow. That is, in this case, the balance condition is no more exist and the fluid stay to flow. And what is a gas? Gas is a fluid that is easily compressed. It fills any vessel in which it is contained. A simple example, that is an LPG gas cylinder. In LPG gas cylinder, we store around 17 to 24 kg of liquid. When the tank is opened, the gas filled, where it is in the room or if it is a vessel, it is filled completely. That is, a gas occupies the space wherever it is placed, and the volume is also changed. So let us look what is the fluid, liquid. A liquid is a fluid which is hard to compress, just opposite to the gas. A given mass of liquid will occupy a fixed volume irrespective of the size of the container. That is, a 1 liter liquid is placed in a rectangular bottle. Its volume is 1 liter. That is, and if it is placed in another square bottle, the volume is similar, no change. But in the case of a gas, whatever the size of the container, the gas occupies the entire space of the, that is entire space of the vessel. That is, its volume is expanded. That is the main difference between a gas and a liquid. Then there is a free space. When the liquid is placed in somewhere, there is a free space is formed as a boundary between a liquid and gases above it. That is simply a layer in between the gas and the liquid. is the free surface, or sometimes it is known as the boundary surface. And let us go to hydraulics. Namely, in the olden ages, it is known as the fluid mechanics, and pneumatics is known as the hydraulics and pneumatics. Hydro means water. Allos means the pipe. That is, hydraulics is the work done by fluid in pipe. The hydraulics is divided into two, that is hydrostatic and dynamic, hydrodynamic. Statics means a steady state condition where the force acting on the substance is in equilibrium. Hydrodynamic means the forces are not in equilibrium, therefore the motion taken place. These are some of the other meanings. It's a confined liquid under pressure made to work. Confined means the all ports which tends to move outside is closed. Therefore, confined means a sealed space is known as a confined space. Or it's a science of transmitting force or motion through a medium. Here, the medium is liquid or gas. Then, hydraulic has many definitions. Among some of the best are taken. Hydraulics is a topic in applied science and engineering, deals with the mechanical properties of fluids. Here we are discussing the mechanical properties of fluids, that is the fluid mechanics. The properties like density, specific gravity, its viscosity, etc. come under this case. On a very basic level of hydraulics, it is divided into the classification. That's the classical mechanics is divided into solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. Again, fluid mechanics is divided to aerodynamics, hydrodynamics, and hydraulics. Hydraulics is basically, in these slides, explains river engineering. River engineering means the liquid flowing through open channels, just like canals, wires, etc. But in our power hydraulics, the fluid flowing through the pipe is taken into consideration. Then introduction to power hydraulics. So here, what is power hydraulics? That is, we are explaining here. All the machines requires some type of power source and a way of transmitting the power to the point of operation. There are three types of transmitting power which are common to all us. These are mechanical, electrical, and fluid. In mechanical power transmission, the power transmitted from one shaft to the another through gears, belts, pulleys, etc. In electrical power transmission, the electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy in case of motors, where initially the electrical energy is fed to the motor, that is the stator rotor converts the electrical energy into rotary motion. And the case of fluid, it is the pressurized fluid or compressed gas is doing for work. This is a well common factor, that is we can see in buses, doors, forklift, JCB hands, in many applications in industrial field, etc. Then in this course, we are going to deal with the third type of power transmission, which is the fluid power. Then some of the introductory tip of hydraulics. That is, the first one is air is compressible. Air is compressible. This describes whether it is possible to force an object into a smaller space than it normally occupies. In this example, the sponge is compressible because it can be squeezed into a smaller size. But the common example that we are seeing our day-to-day life is LPG cylinder. That's in LPG cylinder, a large volume of gas is compressed in a small cylinder. And the second one is the liquid is incompressible, the opposite to the compressibility. That is, when a squeezing force is applied to an object, it does not change to a smaller size. Example, liquid. For example, hydraulic fluid possesses this physical property. We are using the hydraulic fluid only by exerting pressure on the hydraulic fluid. Then, hydraulic is a system that are commonly used where mechanisms require large forces and precise control. Examples include vehicle power steering and brakes, hydraulic jacks, and heavy earth moving machines like JCB, forklifts, tractors, etc. And the use of hydraulics. Hydraulics plays an important role in many industries. There are a lot of hydraulic applications in manufacturing, transportation, and construction sector. Hydraulic systems are used where large, precise forces are required. Please note that the hydraulic systems are used where large, precise forces are used. Then we are going to the second section of fluid mechanics, that is power hydraulics, that is pneumatics. Here we are explaining what is hydraulics and pneumatics once again. The technique of using liquid for power transmission is called as a hydraulic, while which uses gases for power transmission is called pneumatics. In simple, in hydraulic we use hydraulic fluids, that is oils. In pneumatics, simply the compressed air is used for doing work. In most hydraulic systems, mineral oils will be used, while in most pneumatic systems, atmospheric air will be used. It is a simple definition of fluid power. You can note this definition because of fluid power is the use of a confined fluid flowing under pressure to transmit power from one location to another. This is the simple meaning. Here, the word fluid power is the use of confined fluid. That is, the fluid is placed in a container or in a pipe. Flowing under pressure, it is a second one. That is, it's a pressurized fluid. For what purpose it is used? To transmit power from one location to the another. That is, from one location, the first location is where the fluid, that is the oil, is stored and where it is transmitted. It is transmitted to the outer point, that is in actuators. In JCB, the hands, legs, and the etc. are the outer point. That is the output point, is known as the actuator. And again, it is one of the three commonly used method of transmitting power in an industrial setting. That is, we have explained. The others are electrical and mechanical power transmission. The reminder is there are three types of power transmission: electrical, mechanical, and fluid. Then fluid power technology. This is the basic principle that we can use while solving the question. In its fluid power application, hydraulics and pneumatics are used for the generation, control, and transmission of power by the use of pressurized liquids. Here the three words are very important, that is generation, control, and transmission. That is, the fluid at the normal pressure is generated to a required pressure, and the pressurized fluid is controlled in different directions according to their pressure, according to their speed, according to their volume. And the transmission system, we are using the pipes, valves, etc. And for safeguarding the system, we are using some safety devices, some safety valves powered by the use of pressurized liquids. That is the function. The energy contained in a pressurized liquid is converted into mechanical motions by generating the pressure, controlling the fluid, and transmitting the fluid into the end section. The working of hydraulic and pneumatic system are similar. Both are similar. There are a simple differences there, but almost things are same. In hydraulics, the fluid will be pressurized liquids, oil, water, or a mixture of these all. But in pneumatics, compressed gas, usually air, is used as a fluid for power transmission. And the pneumatic is faster, simpler, cheaper, and quicker compared to hydraulics. But it has some advantages and disadvantages. The main disadvantage of the pneumatic system is the power limitation. It can take only a moderate power. And the main advantage is simple. It can be used in hygienic application. That is, the pneumatic is used in textile industry, paper industry, and foodstuff, where hydraulic cannot be used because of the hydraulic system have a chance of fire explosion because of the properties of the hydraulic fluid. Then hydraulic and pneumatic systems. This is assembly and explanation. Hydraulic system use the pump to push hydraulic fluid. That is, a pump is used to lift or draw the hydraulic fluid from the sump through the system to create fluid power. The fluid passes through the valves and flows to the cylinder. Cylinder is the actuator, which is the output of the system, where the hydraulic energy converts and backs into mechanical energy. The valves helps to direct the flow of liquid and relieve the pressure when needed. Relieve the pressure means it's act as a safety device. That is, for every system, there is a pressure limitation. If the pressure inside the system exceeds a predefined level, the safety valve operates and fluid is returned to the sump. And another important factor in the hydraulic system, the hydraulic fluid is recirculated in the system. That after doing the work, the hydraulic oil is pumped to the sump. Sump means the tank where it is collected. And again, the same oil is used in many times till its sum of the properties become diminishes. If the properties diminishes, the oil changes. Otherwise, we cannot get the sufficient speed. Reminds, that is, the hydraulic fluid is recirculated in the system. But in the pneumatic system, the working media is air. Therefore, it is cheaply available in nature, and therefore, after doing work, it is expels or vents to the atmosphere. That is, a pneumatic system is a collection of interconnected components using compressed air. Therefore, a compressor is used for compressing the air to the work for automated equipment. The compressed air or pressurized gas is usually filtered because of the atmosphere contains so many contaminants. Therefore, to remove these contaminants, we are using different types of filters. It is also contains the atmospheric air. the atmospheric air causes the corrosion. Therefore, there are some other devices, preliminary treatment, secondary treatment units to remove the moisture. And the filtered and the dried to protect the cylinders, actuators, tools, and bladders performing the work. So again, the essence of this slide is hydraulic system. The pumps are used for pressurizing the fluid, and pneumatic system, the compressor is used to compress the fluid. And in second, hydraulic system, the oil is used as a medium and it is recirculated in the system. And in pneumatic system, the air is used as a medium. After doing the work, it is went to the atmosphere. Then some of the examples of the hydraulic system, that is hydraulic lift. Hydraulic lifts are used when moving goods, people vertically. Hydraulic brakes, it is used in vehicles. You can see the difference in old vehicles and the new vehicles, the perfection of the hydraulic brake. Hydraulic steering, hydraulic jack is used for lifting loads, heavy equipments, that's JCBs, and airplanes. In main airplanes, the landing gears and other operations are performed by the hydraulic system and hydraulic shock absorbers. Then some of the examples of the pneumatic system, that is air brakes on buses and trucks, air brakes on trains, air compressors, air engines for pneumatically powered vehicles, Barostat systems used in neurogastroenterology and for researching electricity, cable jetting, a way to install cable in ducts, dental drill, that it is a hygienic application in medical field, those of buses and lifts. Then we can go to some important properties of fluid, that is density. We know all what is density. The density of fluid is defined as the mass per unit volume. It is denoted by the Greek symbol alpha. That is, alpha equals mass divided by volume. And the unit of mass is in kg, and in volume, it is in meter cube. And the unit is kg meter raised to minus 3. In simple, we say that kg per meter cube. And the density of water is 998 kg per meter cube, but we taken commonly as thousands. And the atmospheric air, it is 1.2 kg per meter cube. If the density is constant, that is most of the liquid that we can see the slides, the flow is incompressible. That is, we can note a point that in compressible fluid, the the density is not constant. In incompressible fluid, the density is constant, and in compressible fluid, the density is not constant. If the density varies significantly, example, some gas flows, the flow is compressible. Although gases are easy to compress, the flow may be treated as incompressible. Second one is pressure. Everybody know the definition of the pressure. Pressure is the force per unit area, where the force is perpendicular to the area. Remember that the force must be perpendicular to the area. So the area that is taken for the calculation is in meter square. That is, P, pressure is equal to force divided by the area. The unit of force is in Newton and the area is in meter square. Therefore, the unit of pressure is Newton per meter square or Pascal. And The atmospheric pressure is 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. And in 1 psi, it is a British unit, it is 6895 Pascal. Now we are using SI units. But in some of the systems, we are still using the PSI unit. In PSI unit, the pressure is expressed in inch per, the pound per inch, and then length is expressed in meter, and in time is in seconds. This is the absolute pressure. The pressure is compared to the vacuum. The pressure is measured in your tires is the gauge pressure. That is, when we filled the tire, our vehicle's tire, we added some pressure inside the cylinder. Therefore, outside the tire, there is a pressure which is equal to the atmosphere. So, the difference of the atmospheric pressure and the pressure inside the tire is known as the gauge pressure. In common, we are taking the 33, 29, but all the dimensions are in PSI, not in Newton per meter square. Then pressure in a fluid act equally in all directions. This is explained in Pascal's law. And pressure in a static liquid increases linearly with the depth. It is a very important phenomena. That is, when we are take a swim in the sea, when we go deeper and deeper, it is difficult to sustain our life in deep area. That is explained by a figure, that is the change in pressure, that is delta P, that is the pressure increases, depends upon the rho G delta H. Rho means the density and G is the acceleration due to gravity. Delta S is change in depth. It can state here the pressure at a given depth in a continuous or a static body of liquid is constant. That's here is a vessel. There are 3 points which the datum line is drawn. In the data line, we are marking some points, that's P1, P2, and P3. In all the 3 points, the pressure is constant. That is, there is no change in pressure. That is delta H, that is height, is same from the top level. But when we consider a point below P3, the pressure is high because of H is increases. That is, when the depth increases, the pressure is also increases. Here, P1, P2, P3 are same. Then another one is viscosity. Everybody know viscosity. Viscosity mu is a measure of resistance to fluid flow as a result of intermolecular cohesion. There are so many definitions. In other words, viscosity can be seen as internal friction to fluid motion, which can then lead to energy loss. Another definition is it is resistance to flow. That the definition is we are using commonly, the resistance to flow. The different fluid deform at a different rates under the same shear stress. That is, depends upon the density. You can consider the ghee, milk, butter. The density is different. But in a water, the density is very low. The ease with which a fluid pours in an indication of its viscosity. Fluid with a high viscosity, such as syrup, deforms more slowly than the fluid with a low viscosity, such as water. That is ghee or water. The viscosity is known as a dynamic viscosity. When we say the viscosity, it is dynamic viscosity. It is Newton second per meter square or kg per meter per second. The typical values are water and the air is Q1. There is another concept, that is Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids. That is, the fluid obeys the Newton's law of viscosity, refers to Newtonian fluids. In this case, the tau, that is the shear stress, mu into du by dy is a constant. This is the Newton's law of viscosity. It can explain in another way. The viscosity of the non-Newtonian fluid depends upon the velocity gradient as well as the condition of the fluid. Here, the first slide, du by dy, that is the velocity gradient. And in Newtonian fluid, a linear relation between shear stress and the velocity gradient. The slope is constant and the viscosity is constant. And in non-Newtonian fluid, slope of the curve of the non-Newtonian fluids are varies. This can see here. See two figures. In both the figures, the shear stress is drawn in the vertical angle and the rate of shear strain du by dy, including velocity, is drawn on the horizontal axis. That is the different condition. See that in one is straight line and another one is a small curve. That is the difference of Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids.